Yogi Arwind, what are your views on veganism?
Veganism is becoming a very popular movement in the West, all over the world. Veganism, as I have talked to some people, since I don't have a full understanding of it or I have not studied the definition of it, my understanding of veganism is limited to my talks with the people who advocate veganism or who have been practicing veganism for a while. So basically, not bringing any uh, violence towards animals, cruelty towards animals is the basic foundation of veganism, which I understand, and I believe it's a good thing that the people are going or following these values in their life. But when it comes to food and food as a practice and then limiting it to veganism, then I have a different opinion about it. I would love to look at food from a wider perspective where people have been trying to bring uniformity towards food. I believe that's something which is doing injustice to the science of food. For example, if you say that only plant-based food should be eaten by everybody, then this is kind of bringing uniformity. If you say that only meat should be eaten by everybody for various so-called given reasons, then I think it would be bringing uniformity and it's an injustice to the science of food. Food should be looked upon from a very deeper, wider perspective. For example, if somebody is living in a region where fish is the only available source of food, then I believe in that given situation, fish should be allowed to be eaten by the population living around because the given source of food over there is fish. At the same time, those people who have access to the vegetarian food, to the grains, to cereals, of course, those people should eat only this vegetarian food or food based on plants. Importantly, for me, food is basically an input for consciousness. It's one of the most important ingredients that shape your consciousness. So if someone is willing to grow conscious, if someone is willing to live higher conscious, then I believe going for non-vegetarian food or animal-based food should not be a good choice, will not be a good choice. So going for plant-based food for a conscious human is a good idea. Also, the Ayurvedic concept talks about food from a totalitarian perspective. A yogic food habit has a different viewpoint. Ayurvedic food mainly bases your food on the shadrasas, the six basic secretions or the elements that you receive from the food. So they form the choice of your food. They form the basis for choice of your food. The yogic food basically focuses on the element that should basically induce or take you towards a meditative state or a calmer being or a calm state of mind. So food that is taking you over there is considered good for a yogic practice. So what kind of lifestyle you are leading, which part of cities or which part of the earth you are living in, and what is the source of food available to you. These are some of the options that one should consider while choosing the food. Coming to veganism, I think it's one of the best solutions to those areas, especially the urban parts of the world where packaged food or industrial food has become kind of a reality or the main source of food. The food that you buy in the cities like New York or all the developed places in Mumbai, in Delhi, it mainly comes from the packaged, as a packaged food. So the source, from the source to the doorstep of the customer or consumer, a lot of ingredients are getting added to the food. So the food is basically being controlled by the seller. And in this situation, the food that we read about, hear about, it doesn't remain the same. So various regulatory agencies have been giving different guidelines. So basically food is tampered with. And in these situations, I believe one has to try to go for non-tampered food. The genetically modified food is a big risk that whole world is talking about. So similarly, the packaged food also gets added with preservatives, with colors, with different chemical ingredients in the names of proteins and vitamins. So all these things, they are going to have certain impact on our body, mind and consciousness, which we are not aware of. So for the city population, I think vegan movement is a very useful movement. It's a perfect solution in the given times. Also, the kind of meat consumption, the kind of industrialized milk being consumed in the cities, to get solution for this and in the end reducing the impact of all these habits on the global environment. I think vegan movement is a very good movement for the cities to follow, and those people who have access to natural food, I think at least they can be vegetarian. But meat-based food is certainly a harmful thing for our globe. These are my views.
Thank you, Arvind.